Everybody, this is Cashin with Cavaliere. This is our first episode for our web series. The big thing we're going to be going over today is goal setting. I'm Dominic Cavaliere. We have Matty Beats in the front, Nick Rutherford holding the camera today. It's a beautiful day. Unfortunately, it is raining. Didn't want to have to do this in the rain, so I had them drive me around instead. So with that being said, to cut things off right away, like I said, we're going over goal setting, a big thing that I really pride myself on. And I find truly to be the reason why I have achieved the goals of which that I have set for myself. And I know the first thing you're thinking of is, oh my God, everybody talks about goals. All I hear about is goals. I know how to make goals. But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of us are missing the key component, and that's really just being smart about our goals. And of course, that is an acronym. I'm not trying to be smart with you, but that does stand for specific, measurable, attainable, and reasonable, and time-based. Now, the reason why this is so important, in my opinion, is because when we make our goals, I feel like these are just empty promises to the world that we're making, whether you're writing it down or not. I honestly feel like you're just writing or saying something. What are you doing to actually make sure that you accomplish those goals? What steps are being taken to accomplish those goals? I feel like a goal itself is multiple goals inside of that goal. The way you accomplish the goal is accomplishing all the goals in front of you, accomplishing those obstacles, making sure that you're not getting stopped and pushed back and not being able to achieve your goals because of any situation. Any situation that pops up is another obstacle that you have to get over to achieve your goal. There's another step you need to take. So it's the same thing when you're making your goals, is being smart about it. And starting off from the top there with specific, be specific in regards to the goals. Be specific in regards to the goals of which that you guys are stating, whether it may be the fact of the matter that you want to go to the gym 5 times a week, or you want to make sure that you guys are going out a little bit more often, or going and being more consistent at the gym to make sure that you're able to work on the parts of your body in a consistent rhythm and not having to skip workouts because of the last time that you worked out. Well, with that being said, now at least you know what needs to be done in order to accomplish those goals, whether it may be, like I said, waking up earlier and having to go to the gym 5 times a week, Monday through Friday, or working in some weekends here and there, but making sure that you're able to work on those body parts before those body parts aren't able to be worked on again. And really making sure that you're being specific where you want to go. I used to always say to people that I wanted to get bigger, but at the end of the day, like, what does that really mean? Like, what do you want to get bigger? How big do you want to be? There's a lot of different ways to work out, and I know probably a lot of you working here, you're nodding your heads like, yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to work out, and most people don't work out properly. And that's why most people are suffering with the problem of how do you lose weight. It's the same reason we're listening to all these different people, but honestly, it's what's going to work for you. And I honestly think that if you're specific and being honest with yourself, you have the ability of accomplishing anything that you put in front of yourself, because you're giving yourself that ability to know what you need to work on and what needs to change. Now, moving on to the next thing is measurable. We need to make sure that we're able to measure the success and measure the time of which that you have started, where you are now, what steps you've completed, what steps you need to take to further on to complete the actual goal itself, and all the other goals in between. So with that being said, if it's going to the gym, making sure that you're working out, you need to do 10 reps today, 15 reps, and in 5 minutes your second set, 20 reps your third set, or vice versa. However which way that you're working out, we need to make sure that we are measuring those. We need to make sure that we're able to take those steps to know that you finished that set, to know that you finished the second set, to know that you finished the third set, and now know that you've finished it all together. So we need to make sure that we have a plan. We need to make sure that we're able to follow this process. Look back and say, I did this, I did this, I did this, I have this left. And that allows us to not only make sure that we're staying measurable here, but making sure that we're actually accomplishing these goals to accomplish our master goal. And then moving forward is being attainable. A lot of us have a lot of unattainable goals and don't really realize what kind of mentality that brings to the table. It brings a lot of letdowns, obviously, because these things don't happen. It seems so out of reach. Nothing in general is out of your reach. It's just the steps you need to take to make sure that you're able to reach it itself. Now, I would love to be a millionaire, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to just become a millionaire. I'm not going to just become successful one day. You've never watched TV and had them doing an interview on someone saying, oh, you finally made it to the mountain of success. You're finally successful. How did you do it? I did it. You're 100% right. I totally did. I had no idea. I just woke up and you guys were doing an interview. I had no idea what it was about. It doesn't happen that way. We would have these epiphanies constantly if that was the case, but it's not, because these things don't happen overnight. These things happen from working on it, from taking the steps, moving forward. I definitely think anybody in this world can become a millionaire. Will it happen in a week? Will it happen in 2 weeks? Most likely not, depending on what you're able to do and what you have starting out with, maybe. But in a sense, you need to make these goals. You need to make sure you're making $1,000 in order to make $1 million first, because you're not going to just make $1 million check out of nowhere unless you win the lottery. But that is, as we all know, is like 115 billion chances to 1. But at the end of the day, it does happen. So with that being said, if you want to make sure that you're attaining these goals, look at them. What needs to be attained before that is attainable? What is attainable for you to achieve? And write these out. Make your process plan. Write them out. Make sure that you have everything set for step, so you can follow along and pat yourself on the back as you get to that next level and can reach yet another goal that you had set for yourself. Moving forward into the next, I think that is extremely important, kind of piggybacks a little bit off of attainable, is reasonable. Is it honestly reasonable for you to complete that goal? Is it honestly something that you personally can do, and with what you are doing? Sometimes it's not. Sometimes the things you're doing needs to change. If you're waking up at 8 a.m., you have an hour to go to work, you work out 15, 25, 30 minutes, whatever it may be, you get to work at the nick of time to be able to clock in, get to the meeting, whatever it may be, maybe you should wake up earlier. Just because you have time before you go to work doesn't mean you have enough time. Everyone is always going to tell you they had a problem with time. The reason they couldn't do this is the time. They wish they had more time in life. At the end of their days, I wish I did this with my time. I wish I spent more time with my kids, this, that, and the third. I can't wait till I'm an adult, some 9-year-old might be saying, but at the end of the day, they're not enjoying the time that they have, which, on a side note, is a huge part of happiness, is living in the moment and taking advantage of the time you have. But we'll get into that in one of our other episodes here today. We want to really focus on this, and I make sure I really bring across this pattern of being reasonable with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't lie to the world just to make yourself seem like a big shot. At the end of the day, we're all going to know you're not in 5 years when you haven't accomplished your goal yet. So with that being said, be honest with yourself before you go lying to the world. We can do whatever we want to do, but we need to make sure that we're being reasonable with ourselves. Once again, you can do anything you want, but what steps do you need to make before you can actually do those things? So with that being said, time-based is really where this all comes back together. Because obviously, like I said, anybody can say they want to be a millionaire, but if you die the day before you become a millionaire to the age of 89, you made this goal at the age of 10, did you really accomplish that goal? I mean, of course, on paper you did, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're able to really hold ourselves accountable and be urgent in regards to our goals. We don't want to let these goals stay too stagnant, because I'm sure you've bought something in your lifetime that was super needed to have it. A fidget spinner is a huge get nowadays, but after a week, you're like, I don't really need this. I have a pen. I can click my pen. What do you mean? So with that being said, really be honest with yourself inside your time base. If you want to do something in the next 2 weeks, if you want to make sure that you have a steady fitness plan down in the next 30 days, make it the next 30 days and make it happen. It's all up to you. No one else is going to do the work for you. I hear people say this to me all the time, and I love it when they say it, because I know they'll never have to worry about it. I can't want it more than you. And what that means is no one's going to work for your aspirations harder than you, because they all have their own freaking life to live for. They're not worried about yourselves. There are a few of us that are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you guys can do the things that you want to do. But yet again, I can't come to your house every morning and say, yo, you didn't wake up at 6 o'clock. What happened to your goals? I can't do that. You need to hold yourself responsible for those. If you message me, I'll send you a quick little video message of why you should be doing the goals. That's not a problem for me. I want to make sure you guys are able to do the things you're able to do. But the reason I'm able to do the things I'm able to do is because I'm holding myself accountable to my SMART goals and making sure that I'm being mainly accountable and responsible for myself. It's the biggest difference in your life and everybody else's, because they're doing it for themselves. They can't do it for you. You can only do it for yourself, and you can't do it for others. So at the end of the day, when you're going through this, get serious about your goals. If you want to accomplish them, if you never want to say, I didn't accomplish my goal, I didn't do the things I wanted to do, I didn't get a full use out of my gym membership like the other 80% of the country, we want to make sure that we're able to do those things. We're able to make sure that we're able to accomplish our goals by doing these things, being smart, being planned out, making sure that we're being astronomically in particular about what we want, and making sure that we're putting a timeline around that to make sure it gets done. The only way you're going to accomplish your goals is working at them. Talent will get outbeat by hard work every day, because talent doesn't work as hard as hard work. And that's just as simple as that. If you think that you have the world coming for you, you have everything in the world handed to you, there's someone around the world just as lucky as you, getting the whole world handed to them, but they're going to make it further because they're working as well. And that's the big difference in everything else. You cannot get any different results from doing the same thing every day. It just won't happen. In fact, one of my friends told me that was the definition of insanity, was doing the same thing and expecting a different result at the end of the day. Also, we all seem to be insane because most people are doing that every day, waking up, eating breakfast, going to work, going home, going to sleep, waking up, eating breakfast, going to work, going home. It's just the same cycle. We need to break that cycle. We need to walk across the path and get on the proper one. Or even get into the bushes every once in a while. Have some fun in your life. Whether they're the goals that are being accomplished are small and miniature goals, just to live a happier life, or to become a millionaire, to get your promotion that's coming to you, or you believe that you want to really get at this job to make sure that you're able to move forward. Have fun with your goals. Make sure that you're not busting your ass every day, day in and day out, and being unhappy about it. There's no point to that. There's no point to life in being unhappy. Be happy that you're able to be awake, be alive, blinking, smiling, whatever it may be that you're able to do. That's something to be happy about, and that's what should drive you day in and day out, to keep that smile across your face, because there are people that aren't waking up today, and that stinks for those people. But we have a life to live. We have time to make the most of. Why waste it? This is Cash In with Cavaliere. Hopefully you guys took this very seriously, and you guys are going to implement the SMART goals into your personal goal setting materials, and being able to make sure that you write them down. It's one of the biggest things when it comes to writing your goal. If you're not going to make it a SMART goal, at least hold yourself accountable to a goal and make sure you're getting it done. But I strongly suggest to make them SMART goals, considering you just spent 9 minutes listening to my video about them. So with that being said, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, DomCav29, Cash In with Cavaliere. This is Dominic Cavaliere. We have once again Nick Rutherford holding the camera. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And Matt Bathon, Matty Beats on the steering wheel, driving us around, all around. Thanks again. Have a wonderful night. I look forward to hearing back from you guys and seeing what else you guys would like to hear from me. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks again.
Cavaliere.